A chilling new clip from the White House Correspondents' Dinner is spreading fast, showing how the security perimeter was breached in a way no one expected. The footage captures Cole Thomas Allen moving through a blind spot inside the Washington Hilton, getting dangerously close before any alarm was raised. Even more concerning, he appears to use a keycard to access restricted areas, backing up claims that he may have had help getting past security. Please stay, because there's a moment you need to watch for. In the first 10 seconds of that clip, there's a person in the background who nods at Allen. The 2026 White House Correspondents' Dinner was already unusual before a single shot was fired. This was the first time Donald Trump had attended the annual event as a sitting president. He had skipped it throughout his entire first term and again in 2025. So the very fact that he was there made this dinner one of the most high-profile in years. The event attracted approximately 2,600 attendees, including senior administration officials such as Vice President Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and other top cabinet members. The 2026 dinner featured mentalist Oz Perlman as the celebrity performer. The evening had barely started. The scene unfolded a split second after Perlman performed a trick, in which he successfully guessed White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt's baby's name. Perlman was mid-act, standing near the president, the First Lady, and Leavitt at the head table when the muffled sound started. Just minutes into the dinner, attendees in the ballroom heard muffled popping noises and saw the president, First Lady, and top officials hurried away from the head table, where journalists representing the White House Correspondents Association were also seated. In the ballroom, chaos erupted. Video captured what sounded like at least 5 loud bangs before armed officers rushed in and hauled the president, First Lady, Vice President J.D. Vance, and others away while other attendees ducked down under tables. Perlman himself told ABC News that his first thought was, "Are we about to die?" What had happened just one floor above the ballroom was this. A lone gunman had charged a security checkpoint armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives, and exchanged gunfire with law enforcement. The footage showed U.S. Secret Service officers standing near a magnetometer, and then an individual can be seen bolting through the area as officers draw and point their handguns toward where the individual ran. The suspect got off a couple shots and hit one Secret Service agent wearing a bulletproof vest, before he was quickly apprehended as Trump and other leaders scrambled for safety inside the nearby ballroom. One law enforcement officer was struck in a bullet-resistant vest but is expected to recover. The gunman sustained a single knee injury from the tackle, for which he was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Within minutes of the shooting, Trump himself posted footage from the security cameras on Truth Social. Trump shared 2 separate posts on Truth Social with photos of the suspected shooter, with his wrists bound behind his back, shirtless and laying face down on the ground. In another post, the president shared a video of what appears to be security footage from a computer monitor. At his press conference last night, Trump said he released the images and video for purposes of transparency, clarity. That original footage was grainy, a recording of a security monitor, low resolution and hard to make out, but it was real. And it showed the suspect sprinting through the magnetometers as agents drew their weapons. It's what happened to that footage next that turned this story into something else entirely. Within hours of Trump posting the original CCTV clip, someone took it and ran it through an AI enhancement tool. An account attributed to Seth Weathers, CEO of Conservative Dad's Ultra-Right Beer, shared the clip on X, where it has been viewed 3.4 million times. It read, "I enhanced the security footage from last night's assassination attempt using AI." The post acknowledged openly that AI had been used. Weathers even admitted that it seems AI made up some things to fill in the gaps. But the version that went truly viral was not tagged with that honest admission. The claim appeared in a post published on Facebook on April 26, 2026. It read, "Unedited raw security footage of the WHCD front entrance to the lobby where the suspect ran through." That Facebook post called it unedited raw security footage. It was neither unedited nor raw. The video was enhanced with AI, and in the process, the technology altered the details. Fact-checkers identified the hallmarks immediately. The viral version displayed a much better quality, but its top left corner showed the CapCut AI watermark. The video showed several inconsistencies characteristic of AI. One agent appeared to be kneeling in front of another agent for no obvious reason, both apparently on duty. Clothing, facial features, and environmental details that were not present in the original appeared in the enhanced version, fabricated by the AI tool, When it attempted to sharpen and fill in the extremely low-resolution source material, the edited version shows clearer detail of security personnel, including clothing and facial features, as well as improved visibility of the surrounding environment. When Lead Stories tested the video's thumbnail with the ZeroGPT AI image detection tool, the tool confirmed that it was digitally edited. The video posted by Trump did not show any of that. The original Trump-posted footage was a straightforward recording of a security monitor. No enhanced faces, no artificially sharpened uniforms, no phantom kneeling agents. This distinction matters for a very particular reason. AI-edited security footage of the incident circulating so widely on social media indicates how artificial intelligence technologies can impact how information is shared and consumed. In the aftermath of major events, in an era where video evidence has always been treated as ground truth, where the tape doesn't lie, the introduction of AI-enhanced footage that contains hallucinated details muddles the waters enormously. People who watch the enhanced version believe they saw things that never happened. Details in that clip were invented by the algorithm, and millions of people shared it as though it were the original. Conservative commentators amplified the clip widely. Conservative commentator Benny Johnson also shared the clip on X, writing, "This was an armed attack by a Democrat with the intention of killing the elected president with a deadly weapon. This attack is worse than every single thing that happened on January 6, 2021 combined." The media will never tell you this. Ryan Fournier, a co-founder of the group Students for Trump, also shared the clip and wrote, "Incredible. Look at the absolute lightning speed of this Secret Service agent drawing his weapon." The reactions praised elements of the video that, in some cases, were artifacts of the AI enhancement, not things that were actually visible in the original Trump-posted security footage. This is the core of why this viral clip is significant. It is not just about one misleading video. It is about the speed at which AI-manipulated content can now become the dominant visual narrative of a major national security event. But the AI-enhanced footage, as important as it is only one piece of this story. To understand why this event happened at all, you have to understand the man who charged that checkpoint. Law enforcement officials named him as Cole Tomas Allen, born April 11, 1995, a Caltech-educated tutor, video game developer, and mechanical engineer from Torrance, California. On the surface, Allen's biography reads like that of someone who had every opportunity to lead a conventional, productive life. Allen attended the California Institute of Technology from 2013 to 2017, where he participated in the school's Christian Fellowship Organization and its Nerf Club. As a student, Allen was featured in a local news report in 2017 for developing a prototype emergency brake for wheelchairs. A former high school classmate described him to NBC News as borderline genius and super stable. He graduated in 2017 with a mechanical engineering degree and was featured in a Caltech graduation announcement that included a picture of him as an adult wearing a cardigan and a photo of him as a beaming young child holding a stuffed bunny. Allen earned a degree in mechanical engineering at Caltech in 2017 before going on to receive a master's in computer science at California State University, Dominguez Hills, in 2025. After graduating, Allen went into teaching and game development. The two law enforcement officers stated that Allen worked for C2 Education, a tutoring firm in Torrance, and received a Teacher of the Month award from the company in December 2024. Wired magazine reported that Allen has been employed part-time at C2 Education since March 2020. He also described himself as a self-employed indie game developer for the past 7 years. He developed a game called Boredom, which he released on the gaming platform Steam. His students knew him as someone ordinary. One 17-year-old student said, "You wouldn't expect him to be plotting some crazy evil plan to kill the president. He was just quirky because he was just a really smart guy." But beneath that outward ordinariness, something had been building. Family members were interviewed by investigators and said that Allen made radical statements and that he constantly referenced a plan to do something to fix the issues with today's world, that he was part of a Connecticut-based group called the Wide Awakes, attended No Kings protests in California, and would regularly go to a shooting range to train with firearms. Allen's sister told the Secret Service that he had purchased 2 handguns and a shotgun, and kept them stored at his parents' home without their knowledge. He purchased the shotgun used in Saturday's shooting in August 2025. He also owned another semi-automatic pistol purchased in 2023. The guns were purchased legally and in both cases required Allen to submit his information for a background check through the FBI. According to Federal Election Commission records, Allen donated $25 to a Democratic Party PAC, Act Blue, for Kamala Harris's presidential campaign in October 2024. A Bluesky account believed to belong to Allen and verified by NBC News included recent posts or reposts that were critical of Trump and his administration's policies, as well as of the U.S. war with Iran and Russia's war with Ukraine. The trajectory from Caltech engineer to would-be assassin was gradual, and investigators are still mapping it. But what they already know is that Allen had a plan, a manifesto, and enough weaponry to carry it out. Allen traveled by train from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. in the days leading up to the dinner. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche said Allen boarded Amtrak on April 24th and took two routes, the Southwest Chief from Los Angeles to Chicago, and the Floridian from Chicago to Washington, before checking in as a guest at the hotel on April 24th. That is a critical detail. The suspect was staying in the Washington Hilton itself, the same building where the dinner was held. The suspect was seen leaving his 10th floor room inside the hotel, dressed in black, and carrying a shotgun, a handgun, and several knives in a black bag, according to hotel surveillance footage reviewed by senior law enforcement officials. He used an interior stairwell to bypass heavily monitored areas of the hotel and exited onto the same level as the foyer leading to the dinner's red carpet. A journalist from the Daily Beast discovered something chilling afterward. He had been staying in the room right next to Allen's. He wrote that Allen had allegedly brought his shotgun, handgun, and knives into the hotel unchecked. About 10 minutes before the attack, Allen sent his family members a message. The note, sent by the suspect, Cole Tomas Allen, a 31-year-old from Torrance, California, who worked part-time as a teacher and also developed video games, said he intended to target administration officials and expressed his political anger, while noting, "I don't expect forgiveness." He allegedly sent family members a written statement calling himself the friendly federal assassin and expressing anti-Trump sentiments before trying to storm past security outside the dinner Saturday night. The White House characterized the document as a manifesto. The official characterized the writing as displaying anti-Trump sentiment and describing his targets as administration officials and not guests or hotel employees. According to the official, Allen apologized to family and friends in his writing about the alleged manifesto that he sent to his family members. The department confirmed being contacted at around 10:49 p.m. Saturday, just over 2 hours after the shooting, by an individual who expressed concern about the incident when Allen descended from the 10th floor using the stairwell. He emerged into the checkpoint area where Secret Service agents had been managing the magnetometers. Security camera footage released by Trump on social media shows the suspect running past security officers, who appear to be disassembling the metal detectors. Once the president was seated in the ballroom, additional attendees were not permitted to enter the secured area, which is why they were taking them down. Trump told reporters that the suspect charged a security checkpoint armed with many weapons and that he started running from 50 yards and he was fast. The shooting was over in seconds. The Secret Service stopped the suspect from entering the ballroom, and he was taken into custody at the scene. It shows that our multi-layered protection works, Secret Service Director Sean Curran said. On April 27th, the U.S. Department of Justice held a news conference to announce that Allen was being charged with the attempted assassination of President Donald Trump, transportation of a firearm and ammunition through interstate commerce with intent to commit a felony, and discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. Inside the ballroom, the aftermath was surreal. Amid the confusion, White House Correspondents Association President Weijia Jiang announced to the room that the program would continue, and Trump signaled on social media that he wanted the dinner to continue. At approximately 9:20 p.m. EDT, security personnel began clearing out the ballroom, effectively canceling the event for the evening. Jiang later announced from the stage that Trump planned to give a briefing from the White House and that the dinner would be rescheduled within 30 days. In the hours and days after the shooting, the conspiracy machine activated at full speed. Baseless claims that the incident was staged swirled almost immediately. By the next day, the idea had spread across social media. On Bluesky, many users posted "staged," echoing the response to the Trump assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania in 2024. Whereas on X, others claimed that the shooting was staged to increase support for Trump's plan. to build a new ballroom in the White House. Other reasons given for staging the shooting were Trump's low approval ratings and his actions in the 2026 Iran war. Comments from Leavitt and her husband Nicholas Riccio in particular were seen as them having prior knowledge of the shooting. Leavitt told Fox News shortly before, "There will be some shots fired tonight in the room," in apparent reference to a planned speech of Trump. Fox correspondent Aisha Hasni reported that Riccio emphasized she needed to be very safe at the event. While recanting this to the network, Hasni's call cut out, causing speculation that Fox News was suppressing her account. Beyond the claims of a staged incident, plenty of other false or misleading information surfaced online. Fake images of Allen spread online, as did AI-enhanced security video of his sprint through a security checkpoint. One post on X theorizing that time travel was involved had accrued more than 1.2 million views. What appeared to be an AI-generated video of Tucker Carlson floating the staged conspiracy theory also circulated. A pro-Iran AI propaganda video also seized on the moment. Then came the political reactions that added even more fuel. Former President Barack Obama posted on X and wrote that we don't yet have the details about the motives behind last night's shooting. Obama's post was viewed nearly 52 million times and sparked outrage from conservatives, who pointed to a manifesto left by the shooter and other details that they say show the motive was to harm Trump and his cabinet. The Daily Beast's Hugh Doherty, who was at the event and initially thought the attack might be a stunt, concluded the opposite. He wrote that he is now certain the attack by alleged gunman Cole Thomas Allen wasn't staged. Indeed, the truth is even worse. He revealed that he had been staying in the room right next to Allen's, and that Allen had brought all his weapons into the hotel without anyone checking. And that is really the central thread tying this entire story together. The real footage, grainy, low resolution, captured from a security monitor, shows a man sprinting through a checkpoint. The AI-enhanced version that went viral shows what looks like a clearer, more dramatic version of the same event. But it is not the same event. The AI fabricated visual details, and millions of people consumed it as gospel. The incident was the third apparent attempt on Trump's life since 2024, following the July 2024 attempt near Butler, Pennsylvania, and the September 2024 attempt at Trump's golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida. This is also the second apparent presidential assassination attempt at the Washington Hilton, after the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan in 1981. Representative Jamie Raskin, who was leaving the dinner as events unfolded, predicted exactly what would happen. You know, right-wing media is filled with all kinds of conspiracy theories lately about how President Trump's first assassination attempt was phony and fake. Raskin told NBC News, "This is going to fuel all of that stuff, I'm sure." And so the viral footage of the WHCD shooter sits at the intersection of two crises. The crisis of political violence that continues to escalate in the United States, and the crisis of AI-manipulated media that makes it nearly impossible for the public to know what they are actually seeing. The original footage told a story that was already terrifying. A man with a shotgun sprinting at Secret Service agents outside a room filled with the president, the vice president, and hundreds of people. The AI version told a different story, one with sharper faces, invented details, and the false veneer of high-definition truth. Millions chose the second version because it looked better, because it confirmed what they already believed, and because nobody stopped to check for the cap-cut watermark in the corner. That's the reality we now inhabit. Not just that someone tried to storm the White House correspondents' dinner with a bag full of weapons, but that the footage of it, within hours, was already being altered, repackaged, and consumed as something it was not.